Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever, depending on where you are. This is the fourth webinar of a series of 4 webinars around the knowledge packages we have been developing as within the EU-funded Internationalising Vocational Excellence project. And I would like to start with a short introduction. Let me start sharing my screen. Some of you might know this introduction by now, because I always start with a similar introduction, but because we have every time also new guests, I still think it's important to briefly explain who we are. Today's webinar will focus on strengthening private sector partnerships for impactful training that meets labor market and societal needs. But first, who are we? The European Training Foundation, or also the ETF. We are an EU agency. We are based in Torino, in Italy, as you can see on this map. But we work with countries outside the European Union, mainly neighboring the European Union, where we support these countries in harnessing the potential of their human capital through the reform of education, training, and labor market systems. And as part of our work as the ETF, we have started the ETF Network on Excellence in 2020. And at the moment, we have 333 members coming from 54 different countries. And the network is still growing. Based on the experiences we had within ENE, within the network, we also got the EU-funded project Internationalising Vocational Excellence to really support the enhancement of vocational excellence internationally. And with this project, we aim to support centers of vocational excellence, COVIs, newcomers, so COVIs that just get started, but also FED providers who aim to become a COVI, a center of vocational excellence. And the core of this project is ESITH, the International Self-Assessment Tool for Centers of Vocational Excellence, which is a self-assessment tool consisting of 3 dimensions, 23 criteria, and 577 indicators. This always sounds very overwhelming, but there are so many indicators to really cover the broad concept of vocational excellence, but you can select those indicators that are relevant for your COVI in your context. But the self-assessment is, of course, often only a start. You do a self-assessment to see where you are in relation to vocational excellence. And then we expect that you would set development targets because you would like to keep developing your center. And for this, we also have developed a set of support services. On the previous slide, I can go back, you already saw we have this website on Centers of Vocational Excellence on the website of DG Employment, Social Affairs and Inclusion of the European Commission. We have developed the e-library, knowledge packages, a cookbook on vocational excellence. We have conducted a winter camp on vocational excellence, and I already briefly mentioned ESITH. Today, in this webinar, we will focus on the knowledge packages, and we will provide also an example of the cookbook on vocational excellence. So what will we do today? It's the last webinar, and this time we have 3 guests. So we have many experiences to share. I'm very excited to have all the guests here and to have different perspectives presented today. Because you saw like the webinar focuses on strengthening working in partnership with the private sector. We have the private sector presented today with Oana Penou. Then we have an interesting example from the cookbook on vocational excellence from Morocco, presented by Najib Hamouti. And then what is also really great is that we already saw in the other webinars that there are other centers who would like to present their center to you. And in this regard, we have with us, or we will show spotlight Cezeri Green Technology Sectoral Excellence Center. I might not pronounce it correctly, but I'm sure you will learn how to pronounce it correctly later on during this webinar. And then at the end, we will have we will look at the final knowledge packages, because in the previous webinars, we got your input, your feedback on what to include in the knowledge packages. During the webinar in February, we were able to give you a sneak peek, but now the knowledge packages are online. So also after the webinar, you will have the possibility to explore the knowledge packages. Very briefly for the introduction is that I made this reference to the cookbook. We have published now a Taste of Vocational Excellence international recipes for skills development with recipes from 11 different countries. After the webinar, you will again receive the presentation and also the link to the cookbook to explore the different recipes. And as mentioned today, you will hear more about the recipe from Morocco on vocational excellence. And then the knowledge packages. They are published online now as well. Here you see only a screenshot of part of the knowledge package, but as mentioned, we have two. Today we focus on, today we actually focus on skills ecosystems for innovation, smart specialization, and socio-economic development. But we have the first one as well, strengthening private sector partnership for impactful training that meets labor market and societal needs. But in both, working together in partnerships with different actors, public and private, is very important. Each of the knowledge packages consists of 3 stations. And in these stations, you will find tips and resources. And each of the knowledge packages is also illustrated with 2 case studies. One case study from an EU member state and one case study from an ETF partner country. So with this, I would pass the floor to Pauline to facilitate the webinar and the next sessions.
Yes, thank you, Jolien. Well, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. We have a very, very rich program today. So we will start right away with our first, example on vocational excellence. We have today again a lot of participants. And could you please mute your microphone? Yes, for all the participants, if you join the meeting, could you please switch off your microphone so that we don't hear any interference and other voices. But it's very good that we have a lot of participants also from the ETF partner countries and a lot of participants in general, which means, and it shows the interest from your side in this topic. We will start with a guest. It's Ms. Oana Pelou. She's from the EIT Energy. And we will see an example of how the landscape of development of skills and workforce can be changed. And that's very interesting because, of course, Oana, I will let you show and introduce the topic as such. But the EIT Energy, you were mandated for several initiatives in upskilling of workers in the clean energy sector. On one hand, to contribute to the EU objectives towards sustainable economy, but also, on the other hand, to strengthen innovation, competitiveness, and employment. So it is very interesting because we look now at an ecosystem from the point of view of industry, from the sector, and that is a very interesting angle. So Ms. Oana Pelou, very welcome that you are on board here today. And could you explain the concept of the initiative of that Energy is running at the moment? You have alliances, you have the academies. So what is the concept? Who is involved? And of course, we are here with a lot of VET providers around the table. We are very interested in what is the role of VET within these concepts. The floor is yours, Oana.
Thank you so much. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. It is an honor to be here with you. My name is Oana Penu, as Pauline mentioned before, and the organization I'm with, it's called EIT Energy. And we are indeed a private company. However, we have been mandated we have been created in 2010 following a call of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology. So we have been de facto for more than 15 years supported with public money to meet a very clear and very urgent public policy objective, and that is to enable the energy transition. But before I jump into the presentation and answer to the questions that Pauline raised, I want to ask if you can see my slides, if I should put them in the presentation mode, or is it clear enough as it is? And if everybody can hear me properly before we jump into the presentation.
Yeah, we can clearly see your presentation, Oana. It is not in the presentation mode, but I don't know how it is with your computer. If you then lose the contact with the rest of the participants, it's okay for me as well. So it is readable.
That's true. That if I and of course I realize I was at the end of it. If I am putting it in the presentation mode, then I will not be able to see you anymore. So basically, for 10 or so minutes, I will literally speak to a screen, and then I will stop sharing and see you again. If everybody is okay with that, if not, then I will make it smaller again, and then I will be able to see you. You just need to tell me what's more convenient.
Perfect. Let's keep it like this. And if there are any questions in between, I will let you immediately know.
Okay, thank you so much for this, Pauline. So coming back to the concept of the work that we are doing around skills and fostering talent and partnerships. As I've mentioned, we are a privately owned company established under the laws of the Netherlands in 2010, but we have been established from 2010 with a very clear mission and vision, and that is to enable the energy transition at the European level. So we have benefited for more than 10 years of public money support. However, we have been told from the beginning that one of the key objectives of our company is also to prove that leveraging EU money, a company such as ourselves will be able to become financially sustainable, and we have achieved to become financially sustainable, and this is where we are today. But basically what we are at the core, it's an ecosystem orchestrator, and my company is putting together innovators, the industry, the entrepreneur, the university, the training centers together, the students and also the workers, facilitating, let's say, interaction and marrying the one's group needs with the other. And of course, enabling energy transition, it is a very big objective and task. And we have decided and we have realized that we can actually deliver only if we focus on something which is very targeted. And these are what we call a strategic value chain or key strategic technologies that will have an impact on the energy transition. And in our case, we decided to focus on batteries, on solar PV, and on green hydrogen. And for this reason, we have been entrusted by the European Commission with a mission letter in 2017 to orchestrate the European Battery Alliance, in 2021 to orchestrate the European Solar Industry Alliance, and then 1 year later to really bring forward the European Green Hydrogen Acceleration Center, which is actually a joint venture with the Breakthrough Energy Foundation of Bill Gates. This is where really our focus is. So indeed, an end-to-end focus to strategic value chains, and supporting these strategic value chains to thrive in Europe and to ensure the energy independence of Europe. There are two factors that have emerged as critical, and one of these factors is access to talent and access to skilled talent. And for this reason, in 2023, we have created the InnoEnergy Skills Institute, which is a really an initiative, a department in InnoEnergy, where we focus on creating pool of talents and skilling people by shaping the global workforce through innovative skilling solution and creating talent pools to accelerate the transition towards a sustainable economy. We have significant other projects with the European Commission, such as the Critical Raw Materials Initiative and the cross-sectorial skills development. So we are, based on the success and the lessons that we have learned, focusing on these key strategic value chains, we are expanding into other strategic value chains for Europe. However, I'm here today really to show to you the two academies that we are running, and this is and basically what is the core and the key concepts and principles behind this that could be replicated fundamentally everywhere in the world. But also, I am here also to invite you, if you are interested, to reach out to us and also enter into partnership and collaboration with us, because these academies are fundamentally open initiatives where you can draw from and you can leverage to be able to meet your need. So the first such academy was created in 2022. It's the European Battery Alliance Academy, and it's the first Net Zero Industry Academy, as it is mandated by Article 21 to 23 in the Clean Industrial Act, and it is an instrument to align the education and skilling needs across Europe within a central training services platform, integrating member states' education framework and being integrative with the existing instruments, funding instruments at regional and national level on education and industry, and also with the already existing project within the domain of battery. So basically, what is the blueprint for this academy? We are having, and it is actually the blueprint for all academies, we are running a central managed platform, which has a skills intelligence repository, a sustainable energy quality job roles library, a content and curriculum creation, a standard for creating content and curriculum, which is recognized at European level. We are having assessment, credential, and EU-powered certification, and we have a learning management system which is holding everything together, and it's also used to onboard trainers. But this is all, so basically the skills intelligence, the content library, the framework to create content, and the certification, that's something that it is managed centrally by InnoEnergy on a centralized platform. But that does not mean anything if, and we will not be able to have the impact that we are having if we are not going to engage and deploy all this and engage the local learning training provider and the education center. So we are having a network of over 1,000 learning training provider in Europe at all the levels, and 4,000 learning training provider global wide. And through them, we are reaching out to the learners and to the industrial partners. So basically, how does it function? Most of the training content that we are having, we are transferring it into the learning training provider with whom we are linked at our partners, or we are facilitating access of this learning training provider to our platform, depending on the existing infrastructure. However, it is the role and the mission of the local training providers in their respective ecosystems to bring the learners and to basically excite the learners towards this curricula and this educational offer. Also, these learning training providers, some of them have labs. So a lot of our content actually needs to be taught in a very practical manner. So it's all about interactions with batteries and manufacturing batteries. So it has a very highly technical component, but also very highly practical component. And even if, let's say, a part of the curricula is online, a significant part of the curricula is labs and face-to-face. The benefits of this approach, of course, it's that it facilitates the mobility of worker, because the same curricula, it is available in over 10 European languages. It is translated. The same, the workers can take the training in their local language, and they can have the certification recognized. It is an EDC certificate at the European level. The same type of skills are being taught, and also this approach has proven to enable transferability between jobs. So this is the philosophy and the core of what we have in the Net Zero Industry Academy for batteries, but also for the other ones. And this is what we have achieved so far for the Battery Academy. We have 13 MOUs with the member states. We have trained over 110 people. So they are accredited trainers that can provide our trainings. We have over 112,000 learners which have taken our content. We have European digital credential tracts, so micro credentials for 6 of these programs. We have partnerships with over 8 labs across Europe. We have developed a number of courses, and on the platform you will have over 100 courses available. Most of these courses are developed by ourselves, but we also are hosting and using courses from other learning providers. A similar approach we have taken from last year with the European Solar Academy. So a little bit less in terms of development, because we have just started in August 2024. However, we feel that we are on the right track and with the right, let's say, momentum to deploy this academy across the European ecosystem, and not only. Also keeping in mind that the SMEs, so the small and medium-sized enterprises, are really at the core of the solar industry. So basically, just to give you a flavor of where we want to go with the Solar Academy is to be able to train over 200,000 people by 2030. And we know that 80% of these people will be in installation and deployment. And you can see here on this slide what type of skills we will be focusing on. So very much on the manual and technician, installer and technician type of skills, where we will focus on assembly, machine maintenance, process engineer, quality assurance. Roof installation, actually, a biggest part of the demand that we see in this sector is for roof installers. We are having in our catalog at the moment over 150 distinct job roles that we can train partially, and 25 job roles we can fully train. Most of those jobs are in AC and DC, electrician, installation technician, and maintenance technicians, because there is the biggest gap. And of course, all of this is happening with a very heavy and strong technical component. Let's say the training, it's modular, it's practical, and it's flexible. And it is really a hands-on education with access to real-life infrastructure for effective training. We actually have completed in October a fourth module with refugees from Libya in Germany. It has been really a success because over 20 learners, out of which 8 women have started their learning remotely, but then they have come to Germany and then have passed their certification in the country and can be integrated into the local labor market. How it's actually happening in practice, and how do we work with the member states and with any body who wants to basically engage with us? We start with a memorandum of understanding with the relevant government body. We are outlining a customer program for the country, for the region. We usually translate the contents in national languages. We do train of trainers. We are offering the content for free to a pilot, a sample group between 50 and 100 people. And then we are rolling out the program with the support of local funding where available, or we are looking for support from different programs as well. So as I said, in batteries, we have done that with 13 countries, almost 14. And in solar, already we have two engagements and many more outlined. However, as I said, the invitation is open. If this is interesting for you, if it's interesting for your organization, don't hesitate to contact me. My coordinates are here. I'm very happy to explore how we can work together and make sure that you can benefit from these programs as well. So I want to thank you for your attention, and I would give the floor back to Pauline to see if there are any questions or further insights that the participants would like to share with us. And I trust you will share the presentation with the
We will do.
attendees.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Joanna, for your very clear presentation. And of course, for all the participants, we will share all the presentations that you will see today, but also from the other 3 webinars. You will receive them. Actually, I do have a question, Joanna, because the numbers that you showed are very impressive, and you also have very clear and ambitious goal for the near future. And we see also that a lot of centers of excellence and ecosystems, they are focusing on the clean energy, on the renewable energy. So what could be in it for them? Is there an opportunity or possibility to join you? Can they become part, for example, of the organizations you work with the Memorandum of Understanding? So actually, how can we connect and share the things that are already done in other countries?
So there are different ways to, so the short answer is yes, definitely. And we are really welcoming Center of Excellence in Education providers from basically mainly all over, because this is a value chain and an industry which has a global spanning. And we believe that talent, especially in this area, will need to be mobile, and the skills that the people are acquiring needs to be very transparent and comparable, especially if, let's say, more in batteries and less in solar. There is not really a standardization around the curricula or even the type of skills that a person needs to have in order to be actively participating in the industry. So I would really recommend that you get in touch, and you can be what we call a learning training provider for us. We have a standard template that we are engaging with, a contract literally, where you can access this content that we are providing. And if you deem it is relevant, you can make it make it available to your ecosystem. If you are from a country that we have already a memorandum of understanding with, and we have the content translated, then basically you can have the content in English, but also we have it in Polish and Slovak and Romanian and French and German and Spanish and so on. I would really love, we were really working very hard with Italy and Portugal to have those translated there. So if you are from these countries and you would, let's say, wish to work with us, we would be really open and ask for your support, perhaps to engage with a governmental party in order to be able to translate the content in these languages as well, because only based on this memorandum of understanding we can actually translate the content in the local languages. So, but the local training provider, the education center, can enter into a contract with us and become, let's say, have access to our content and make our content available to their ecosystem. So that's one way. And there is also possible if there is there is content already available and it is relevant for the job roles that we are supporting. We are also using the content from third parties, and we integrate it in the learning journey. And of course, these third parties are getting paid for this content. So it is, I would say, a two-way street that we can engage in to collaborate together.
Yeah, thank you very much, Joanna. Very clear. Also a very good example of how we achieve more impact through collaboration. And as we are with a lot of partners also from the ETF partner countries around the table, so also outside Europe, but also within Europe, I'm confident that we can all contribute to this beautiful initiative. So for the participants, if you are interested or if you have any questions for Oana, I would like to ask you to send an email to the IntVe email address, because then we can collect them and we can send them to Oana. And Jolien will, in the chat, she will put the email address so that everything will be coordinated by the IntVe Secretariat and will be on the right spot. So thank you very much, Oana, for your presentation, and good luck, of course, with this beautiful initiative.
Thank you, and good luck as well with the project.
Thank you very much. Yes. We jump immediately over to our next initiative, because Jolien was already explaining this morning in the beginning that we have developed a cookbook on vocational excellence, which kitchen tools you need, which ingredients you need to go further and develop yourself in vocational excellence. In this cookbook, you will also find some recipes for a greening vocational excellence, but also greening on digital vocational excellence and on entrepreneurial vocational excellence. And we are very proud that we have one of these recipes today in our midst. It is Mr. Professor Najib Hamouti. Welcome that you are here. And she will give you a taste of excellence from Morocco. It's an illustrative example on entrepreneurial vocational excellence. And Professor Najib Hamouti, I will give you the time to present yourself and the initiative. But if I understand well, you really started a couple of years ago with a vision to bridge education and industry in the textile and in the garment sector. And you become a very stable partnership, and you have really grown towards an initiative center towards with a focus on entrepreneurial vocational excellence, on entrepreneurship. So could you take us with you in that process, in your journey? How did you achieve these long-term partnerships? And why was focusing on entrepreneurship for you so important? Can you tell a bit on the context and how this raised?
Good morning, Pauline. Good morning, Jolien, and everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's a real honor to be invited to speak to such a distinguished audience and also speakers. In fact, the story started in 1996, which is the year this school was founded. It was not, if you like, a normal birth of this school, because it was for the first time in Morocco that you have public authorities and the private sector joining efforts to start a school. That was quite pioneering. And the pressure came from the labor market, because the textile industry in Morocco is the historical industry in Morocco. It started, as an industry exporting and open to the world. It started maybe 60 years ago. And there was a time when in the industry we had a shortage of qualified labor force, and also this shortage triggered, if you like, high costs for the industries. So they had to, when it came to highly skilled workforce, they had to hire people from Europe or somewhere else, and this costs them, of course, much more than they would usually hire like a local engineer. And this is how the school started. It started with the pressure from the industry asking the government to start to have their own, if you like, center to cater for their needs. Currently, the textile sector in Morocco employs 170,000 people, and in this sense, it is the second employer in the transformative industry. So it is quite an important sector. So why I'm saying this, because it has a link with your questions, a question about entrepreneurship. So if you like, the founding mothers and founding fathers of these schools were entrepreneurs themselves. And they say that we have founded a school which is, and we want it to be entrepreneurial. This is how, and here we have to touch upon something important, and this is something also very close to my reflection on vocational education in general, which is the question of governance Sometimes I speak too much about it to an extent that people say you're obsessed with governance, because I think that governance is important. So the governance of this school was one of the keys to its being entrepreneurial. Because this school was built thanks to also to European funding and public funding from the government, but it was endowed with a legal status of a company, LTD. In this sense, it was born with large autonomy in decision making. They could hire, fire without going back to the ministry or to other higher authorities. And the board of the school is made of the public sector, and also half of it is made of the private sector. These are the people who decide for the overall strategy, and they oversee and they check and balance what we do. So in this sense, entrepreneurship as a spirit was there. And of course, there came a certain time when we had to ride the wave of change. So in 2003, we started our first lessons in entrepreneurship. And that was, when I remember with hindsight, when I remember what we did, it was a little bit naive at that time, but at that time it was a little bit avant-garde, because not too many people, not too many centers were teaching or have integrated entrepreneurship in the syllabus. So we started teaching entrepreneurship from the point of view of or the perspective of how to set up the company, legal matters, etc., meaning of different companies, etc. And we started learning from our partners and learning from our visiting professors and from our lecturers as well. And then we kind of improved the provision of teaching entrepreneurship. So this is one side which concerns entrepreneurship as it is being taught. But also this school, which was born with the legal status of company, had somehow to act as a company, which is finding sources of income to fund its own activity. So it is a non-profit. Okay, it is although being endowed with the legal status of a company, we are a non-profit. But the government said we are going to not to fund you, but subsidize you. And the subsidy started to decrease. So what we did is that this has put pressure on us, but it was good pressure, because we were able to be more creative, more audacious, more imagination. So we have a division which is in charge of liaising with the industry, So we, between inverted commas, we sell services to industry, like continuing training, consultancy, advice, etc. And this is something which is very important to us now. It has grown. For example, when we started I don't remember very well the figure, but we were subsidized like maybe 60% by the government. Now it is much less than that. And sometimes they say we are going to cut the subsidy. You are doing very well in entrepreneurship. We will just cut you the money. We need to rely on yourself. So we are doing this with companies, and the success was immense. And this is, of course, not only because of the governance model, but also because our lecturers, teachers, they have a contract like the private sector contract, and they are, if you like, inspired by the spirit of the private sector, which is hard work, more engagement, more commitment, and also commitment to quality toward learners, quality towards the industry. Of course, we always try to work on ourselves. We never think that we are doing very well. We are very much inclined towards self-criticism. So that's why we come out sometimes with some original initiatives. For example, in 2015, we launched a career center. Career centers based on the American model of George Washington University. And of course, career center is about employability. It's about also liaising more with the industry. But in a certain sense, we found out that what we were not expecting from the career center, we were expecting the career center to improve employability. And it did, It has improved employability, for example, in 2017 by 12%. But what we got from it, which was the unexpected gift we got from the career center, is that we strengthened our relationships with employers, with industry, and this has become quite a virtuous circle and a model win-win partnership, because industrials, employers could get feedback from us when they needed to hire students from our center, our school. When they wanted to hire from our school, they would find that they have a very responsive reaction from us. So for example, our commitment is to send CVs maximum 48 hours after we received the need that was our commitment. And more than that, we used to say to our friends in companies that we not only save you time, but we also save you money, because we are doing the job of HR in a certain way. Because when they ask for CVs for candidates, it is a personalized service. They say, for example, we want like a candidate for this position, but one who has worked her or his project of end of studies in, let's say, logistics. So we provide the CV of someone who did so. And that was it was something that companies really appreciated, having a personalized service. And on the other side, and this is what I'm saying, this is a win-win relationship, is that we were able to improve the employability of our students, and not only employability in terms of quantity, but also in terms of quality. We improved the quality of employment of our graduates, and this is something that also a gift that we were not expecting from the career center, but it's okay, we like it.
Yes, I think that's a very, very interesting process, actually, Mr. Hamouti, because what you were saying, the lack of the government funding forced you more or less to engage with industry. And of course, at that moment, you need to discuss with them, well, what is the win-win, how to keep them on board, and how to get them on board and how to keep them on board, two different challenges. But what you're saying is actually, well, it saves time and money for the company, because they don't have to invest in training, to invest in people, because you collaborate closely with them to prepare them in the right way for the job. So in that sense, you're sort of HR activities. And that's a very interesting. We saw similar experiences with our previous case study that we showed in the previous webinar in Egypt, Tahil. There was also a very close relationship between industry and schools, showing these win-win situations. That's very, very interesting. And if you look at because you work also a lot of international level, what is the importance of international collaboration for your ecosystem? Because we in terms of ecosystems, that international approach is very, very interesting. But it is also very challenging as a non-EU country to start up these collaborations with EU partners. So can you tell me about that, the international dimension, but also how you do that as a non-EU country?
Yes, this is a very interesting question. Let's say that we were late to embark on an international operations, to be sincere with you. This is not something that we used to do very well until the last 8 years, maybe. So, I mean, the question about the ecosystem, of course, there is the local ecosystem. And what we used to do here is that we try to be, for example, we try to go through this through memberships. So we were maybe at a certain time the only school which is a member of the Moroccan Employers Confederations, which is the greatest, the largest employers trade union here in Morocco. It's not or association. We were members of the Moroccan Association of HR Professionals, for example. So memberships were very important to us here, and it opened us if like opportunities of collaboration with many sectors. And this is also the perspective that we use at the international level. So we started memberships in some international associations because our school is all at the same time higher education and vocational education. So this is something that what was good for us in the sense that we were able to become members of associations which are at the same time higher education and vocational education. So memberships were, if you like, a key to networking for us, and this is how we get noticed and also to get to know people. Then we started the Erasmus Plus program here. And this is something that opened us the doors of collaboration with the European Union. I mean, to be sincere with you, at the beginning we were acting like, beginners. At the beginning we were acting like beginners because the Erasmus Plus program was something mysterious for us. We didn't get it. So we started the first project. And in the first project, we started to learn about it, about how to draft proposals, how to collaborate, how to manage the project, etc. And now, for example, we are members of the ETF Network of Excellence, and this is something that we consider as a badge of honor of us to have this label. We are a Center of Excellence, and also. For example, as achievements, we are now involved into Erasmus Plus capacity building in vocational education projects. This is something which allows both our administrative staff and the teaching staff to upskill and to learn new ways of doing things, sometimes in very technical matters like textiles. For example, now we are members of a project called TechTex, which promotes the teaching of technical textiles. So here we are targeting upskilling teachers in technical textiles. But we have also some project which is transversal, which is about entrepreneurship, which is about fostering the teaching of entrepreneurship, and we are members of a member of this consortium, which is made of European universities and centers, and also countries from the Southeast Mediterranean.
Yes, very, very interesting. Because you say, and this is actually also already a good takeaway for all our participants, That membership sector associations, they often operate already at international level, so they can bring you in contact with relevant partners. But indeed, the Erasmus Plus program, capacity building for vocational education and training, can definitely support third countries that are not associated to the program in helping you out with developing your vocational excellence. So in that sense, it is a recommendation for all the participants, get in contact with European partners that can also through the ETF network of excellence, liaise with European partners that are at the same level, that are interesting for you, because they can support you and help you out in the application of an Erasmus Plus proposal. Because as a non-EU country, you cannot be the applicant, so you need to connect with partners in the European member states. So that's very good and practical recommendations to be more internationally involved. Also regarding the time, let's speak about applied research, because we see that is often a very big challenge to get companies at the level that we collaborate with vocational centers on applied research. And applied research can be a very, very important element of your ecosystem. Can you illustrate how it looks like that in your context?
Yes, indeed, we have a research and development division here. And I said a few minutes ago that we provide consultancy and training for companies. But we also decided, and that was quite a strategic decision, that our research will be applied research more than fundamental research. And this is to be, if like, in harmony with our vision and conception about how this school should function. So applied research, we do it in two forms. So we have first, our students, they do an end of studies project. Last year of their studies, they have to spend 4 to 6 months in a company where they realize a project. And in this project, not all of them, but some of them, they go toward an applied research project. And sometimes they come out with astonishing results for the company. Like, for example, in one of these cases, there was a student who was able to decrease the consumption of energy by 5%, which was huge for a big company. It's maybe more than 20,000 euros saving for the company. So at the same time, with the older, if you like, people, I mean, our researchers and teachers, we do applied research with companies. Of course, not all companies welcome the idea of research, and sometimes it is also faced with some legal challenges. For example, how to patent the result of the applied research and how to use it, etc. This is, of course, something very sensitive, and we haven't succeeded in solving yet. But so far, we had also, I mean, if you like, the half-filled glass is that there are successful collaborations. For example, we collaborated with the textile company in another city in Morocco, with the realization of operations that would help recycling the waste of textiles, and we got a reward for it. And of course, we go to companies and see what they are doing, and sometimes we find ideas, and sometimes to be more bold about it, applied research itself becomes a source of income for us. To be pragmatic and bold in a certain way, because there are some programs which fund collaboration between companies and centers of research, etc. And in many cases, we were able to get funding in order to finance both the study, the research for the benefit of the company, and also get some funds for the running of our research division.
So actually the applied research somehow can also be a win-win or a benefit for the company, because you can create a sort of situation that is a sort of test before invest. I mean, the company, they can test some initiatives, some ideas, some challenges with the students before they really go over to bigger initiatives. So that's an interesting approach as well. Well, you gave us already a lot of concrete recommendations in the field of engagement of private sector, on internationalization, and now on applied research. How do you keep the engine rolling? Because we all also know that it's like a Michelin star restaurant. Getting a star is difficult, but keeping your star is even more difficult. So how do you keep the quality high? How do you keep the people motivated to stay on their top of the toes?
It all at the end of the day, it comes back to the birth of the school. When I said it was born with the private-public partnerships, but with the entrepreneurial spirit, the school was endowed with much autonomy, and autonomy allows you at the same time to take. To be agile and to take decisions at the right time, and also to reward people, and also to decide how to use the money which is in your bank account. In a sense, for example, that when we saw it relevant, we went for Assure's quality label, the EURACE European accreditation. This is something that was challenging for us. It made us suffer for like 1 year and a half, because there's a lot of work to be done, documents, and also it needed funding. We had to pay for this operation, but we decided to do it because we thought that a European label, would open the doors of opportunities for our graduates, for those who would like to relocate. And we are joining the next webinar of ETF about migration. so they come with a degree which is accredited by a European body, EURACE. And now we are working at this. During this period, we are working on the ISO 21001 accreditation. Of course, this is also something that is making us suffer a lot of extra work, which is not usual. But we thought we have to do it because it's good. And this is how we keep the pressure on us to go for the better. And also because the student is at the center of everything that we do. Everything that we do, at the end, the main beneficiary is the student. And of course, around the student, there is the labor market, there is the country, there is society, etc. But the student is at the center. And once the student is empowered, has a degree which is accredited nationally, internationally, of course, this is fantastic.
Yes. Thank you very much. So you say, well, incentives are important, the rewards. You have to keep your standards high. Do not lower the standards, because
and pay people very well.
Yes,
when they do a good job.
Yeah, indeed. And I think last but not least, your remark, it is, you have to look at the beneficiaries, and these are the students. So we're not we're not in a position to lower our standards. We have to keep it high for the best of our students. Thank you very much, Professor Amouti. You gave us a very rich insight in your practices. For all the participants, the good practice, the case study of Mr. Hamouti is in the cookbook, so you can read it again. And of course, if there are any more questions on specific questions, please write us to the IntVe email. So thank you very much for being among us, and good luck with the future ambitions.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Then we go over to Tuba Akili. She contacted us.
Hello, Pauline and Yolene. I'm gonna share my screen.
Yes, and Miss Akili, she contacted us after one of the previous webinars, and she was explaining, well, we are actually setting up an initiatives and we would like to show it. So it is not, we have a diversity, a variety of the more mature centers of excellence. We have examples of more in the starting phase, more in the developing phase. So it is good to have an insight in different types of vocational centers of excellence that can help you out in and inspiring you. The floor is yours, Ms. Akili.
Ladies and gentlemen and dear participants, it's really great pleasure for me and great honor to be in here with you. I am Professional Development Coordinator in Türkiye. My name is Tuba, and our center's principal is also here, Mr. Mustafa Aydın. And today I'm gonna give information about this. What is a Sectoral Excellence Center in Türkiye, and Sectoral Excellence Center, how many Sectoral Excellence Center are there? And what are the objectives of Sectoral Excellence Centers? And finally, I'm gonna present Cezeri Green Technology Excellence Center. And then we have a look at what is a Sectoral Excellence Center. It means they are innovating training centers that aim to enhance the quality of vocational and technical education and align with more closely with the needs of labor markets. And Sectoral Excellence Center were established under the METEC 3 project operation, carried out within the framework of European Union's IPA2 program for the 2020 and 2024 period. And this is really great amount of projects. In Türkiye, 15 Sectoral Excellence Center located in 5 big pilot cities. They were established under the Ministry of National Education in the pioneering vocational high schools. And each Sectoral Excellence Center works 2 or 3 specific areas. Among 25 specific areas you have seen on the screen now. And when we have a look at the objectives of our Sectoral Excellence Center, they aim to develop training programs for professional development of teachers in their own specific areas across the Turkey. And they target to develop course materials as the same in their own specific areas all over the Turkey. And they focus on national and international projects. They aim to do sectoral cooperation and partnerships, because via these collaborations, they want to make course contents align with the sectoral needs. And finally, this is our Sectoral Excellence Center. Its name is Cezeri Green Technology Excellence Center. And it is located in Ankara, capital of Turkey. And it is one of the Sectoral Excellence Centers that I have mentioned earlier in my previous presentations. And our center is responsible for the professional development of teachers and development of educational materials and national, international projects in the field of renewable energy and electrical electronics technology all over the Turkey. And our center vision is to be an international learning center in the field of renewable energy and electrical electronic technologies. And I want to give information about some of our activities. We have planned in-service training courses in the field of renewable energy, teachers. And we are doing another activities, technology talk series. We invite key individuals from the sector and academia, and we bring them together with students and teachers. And this allows for discussion on the recent developments. And they can exchange ideas and new perspectives. And another activity is school-based education activities. We aim to develop and support our own schools, teachers' professional development. And another activity also we do, sector cooperation meetings. We collaborate for our national and international projects and also teacher training programs. And as the same we do for the academic collaborations. And we are applying for the Erasmus project proposals, and we are implementing Erasmus projects also. And we participate face-to-face international conferences, forums. This is an example from Italy. We promote our centers in these conferences and forums, and we build new partnerships, and we can exchange new ideas also. And our center's vision, another vision is we are active also online international platforms like ETF, ISITCO, and Open Space. ISITCO is also important for us, especially it's a tool we can see ourselves progress internationally. And I want to give information, another important side of ISITCO. It's a vocational education tool. It's directly aligned with the European policies. And if you are really interested in Erasmus Central Vocational Excellence project proposal, you can see in the project guideline, Erasmus guideline, that it emphasizes that using these tools is important, and it especially refers to ISITCO, and thus it might be a reference for our projects. And another platform, international platform, we are active on in the field of renewable energy. These platforms open doors us to build new partnerships and collaborations. Thank you for listening me, and I wanna say my thanks, Pauline and Yolin, giving a chance me to share my Sectoral Excellence Center in here. And if you have any questions, I can answer them.
Thank you very, very much, Tuba, for your clear presentation. And it is very good that you highlighted also the ISITCO tool, the self-assessment tool, because that's actually a tool where we started with in the first and the second webinar. Because it can provide you really support in where are we now and where do we want to go to. So it gives you an indication of where are my points for improvement to work towards vocational excellence. So it is very good that you highlighted that, and we will mention in the chat also the link to the ISITCO as well, so that if you're not really familiar with this tool, or if you want to join of the next coming rounds for the implementation, then you can contact us as well. I have a question for you, actually, because you are now you are evolving in this whole process. Are there also, based on the ISITCO assessments, are there really some specific elements where you want to focus on? What are your challenge areas? Can you explain a bit about that?
Okay. We are at the beginning of the ESITH course process, and now we are evaluation process. We have uploaded our participants, our students on the platform, and some of our partners and the representatives from the sector and representative from the government, Ministry of National Education, in order to see our self-progress. Now we are waiting for our vocational excellence certificate, and we are really thrilled for that. And we will see another side of our parts, another sites we will see in the future, in forward days after the evaluation. Not only we can see our self-progress, we can stay updated by this platform, and we can, I think we can build collaborations via this platform's webinars also. And
Yes.
It's maybe difficult for us to uploading the sectors in this platform and introducing this platform, the sector and other partners, students. It's important first introducing this platform, and then we are active on the evaluation process.
Yes, excellent, excellent. And in the meantime, Jolien, she posted in the chat the link towards the project Internationalising Vocational Excellence, where this ISET Cove tool is part of. And also that the ISET Cove tool is available in many languages. So not only English, but also French and Spanish, German, Polish, Romanian, Italian, Turkish, Georgian,
also.
Ukrainian and Arabic. So I'm confident that there is a possibility also for the participants to test and to join this ISET Cove self-assessment. Thank you very much, Juba, and I wish you all the luck with the further development of your Center of Excellence.
Thank you, Pauline.
And a very good recommendation to stay in touch within the networks, because it's all about sharing and connecting, and we're all going on a journey that you cannot do alone. So let's stay connected.
Thank you, Pauline.
Yes.
Pleasure.
So let's go over now to a very interesting part of the webinar, because now we will show you what we have done in the previous weeks and months, because we promised you to give an insight, a sneak peek on the knowledge packages that Jolien presented in the beginning. And therefore I want to show you an animation video that explains what these knowledge packages are, and then we jump into what they really can provide for you. So now I'm doing an attempt to share my screen with the animation. And this is the moment where my computer slows down. So let's see if it will work.
Are you still there, Pauline?
I am still there. Can you hear me?
Yes, but you seem frozen, at least from my side.
Yes, my computer is now blocking.
Otherwise, I can share it.
Do you have it? Stand by. That would be great.
I have it on the page. Maybe I open it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how it works.
Yeah, because this is the moment indeed that my computer decides not to go further.
Maybe I can zoom in a bit. Yeah. Okay. Good sound. So I think now you see the web page with the video, right?
Not yet, but it might be my computer.
You also muted yourself, Pauline. Tuba, can I ask you, do you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, so I start the video.
Okay.
Many vocational training centres dream of becoming a centre of vocational excellence.
Is there a problem with the video, Pauline?
Pauline, could it be that you took over the screen? Shall I start from
I think it
the...
should go, yeah, that was the reaction that I did 5 minutes ago.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it finally started sharing, but now it should be okay. So if you can restart it, it's good. I don't have the sound.
There is no sound also.
Oh. Let me...
Many vocational training centres dream of becoming a centre of vocational excellence. Vocational excellence is about building strong industry partnerships to work together on designing relevant training programmes, innovative teaching, work-based learning, applied research, and more. We offer 2 knowledge packages with tools, inspiration, and guidance to help you in building these strong partnerships. The first package focuses on collaboration with the private sector. It helps you design and deliver training programs that meet real-world needs. The second one helps build a skills ecosystem, anticipating innovation, smart specialization, and socio-economic growth. There is no single route, but key stations we all pass are partnerships with industry, aligning education with industry and regional needs, delivering innovative training involving industry. Each station offers concrete sources of inspiration, like case studies, study reports, guidelines, assessment tools, and many more. Discover the knowledge packages, explore real-world examples, and take the next step toward vocational excellence.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Jolene. If you can keep on this, if you can keep sharing this screen, because there's actually, this animation is part of the knowledge packages. So if you want to rewatch it, is very, it's possible. We will share the link as well. And the animation shows indeed that we are offering 2 knowledge packages. And what you have heard in these last 4 webinars, it's each time a sort of taste from these knowledge packages, a case study, different case studies, different practices, different tools, etc. And we will share this link, obviously, because these knowledge packages, these bring together all the information and tools that can inspire you and help you in setting up partnership for the design of training programs, but also for the provision of training programs, both in a more beginners level, but also on a more higher level at ecosystem level. So we provide some information, but also some general tools. And if we jump into one of these knowledge packages, for example, knowledge package 2, and if we scroll down, you see that this is all about challenges in the field of how to bring your partnership to the level of skills ecosystems. We have heard Mr. Hamouti on his experiences, but also how to make internationalization a part of your strategy, what to do with applied research. So it is really going next level into your vocational excellence. In each of these knowledge packages, we show obviously also case studies because we want to learn from existing successes and practices. Each time we give you an European example, but also an example from an ETF partner country. So in this context, we have a COVE on tourism industry, and we have a COVE on the financial and bancarian industry in Moldova, and the first one was on Greece. And if you scroll down, indeed, you see, you can read the case studies more in detail, but we also give a very short highlight on the takeaways. What can you find in this case study before you have to go through the whole text? We give you some highlights. The animation showed also that there is no single way towards vocational excellence. Everybody will do that in their own pace. They will face their own challenges, etc. But somehow we all pass 3 important stations. One is building partnerships, because without partnerships, you don't have an ecosystem and you don't have a partnership. And the second station is going more into the design of your innovative and smart specialization training programs, and what is happening in my environment within the sector and within the region where we can anticipate on with our training programs, and how does it impact and influence our training programs. And the third station is delivering the training with a role of private sector. And for example, Mr. Hamouti, he showed the applied research, that you have a strong connection with private sector to do applied research. So every station gives concrete examples and concrete recommendations on how to do that, because it's always easy said, well, you have to build partnership, but what does it actually mean? And how do I get these partners on board? And how do I keep them on board? And how can I expand them to an international level, or within the sector? How can I bring in more partnerships from there as well? So these knowledge packages, they give you very concrete hands-on tips to start with. And so if it comes to engage partners, you have to have a shared vision and look for these win-win situations. Where is your entry to get them on board and to keep them on board? The same with the regional challenges and priorities. So we give actually a lot of concrete examples of where you can start. And of course, it is not a checklist. It depends on your own context and situation, if they can be applied or not. But at least I think that they can really help you in getting each time a next step forward. Supporting on these concrete actions, we provide you resources, because there is a lot done at European level. We have seen that there are already a lot of COVE projects, but not only European funded, but also other initiatives. So there are toolkits available, there are self-assessments, there are scans, there are handbooks, there are examples of training material. So we provide you here a taste actually of these resources. And of course, there are many more of them, but then we forward you to the e-library. And Jolien, she showed also that there is an e-library where all the resources are packed as well. So if you have some keywords to search for, you can find them there as well. So we are very proud actually that we now can finally show you the knowledge packages. And we hope, of course, that they are very useful for you in your journey towards vocational excellence. And if there are any questions, please let us know via the IntVe email address. But I think, Jolien, also looking at the time, I give the floor back to you for the final words, final conclusions, and the next step forward.
Thank you, Pauline, and also thank you to all the speakers today, because I think in the end, working on vocational excellence, what we need most is to learn from each other experiences. So thank you very much for your contributions. What is next? For now, this is the last webinar in this series, and we thank you also very much for your inputs during the previous webinars, which helped us in shaping the knowledge packages Pauline just showed to you. We will share with you after the webinar the link to the knowledge packages, the link to the cookbook. I have just shown you also the link to the e-library. In the e-library at the moment, we have over 380 resources, and you can search, browse for them by sector, by kind of resource, by vocational excellence topic, but also by using the ESITH criteria. And we will keep updating the e-library. So if you have any resources you would like to share and to link to the e-library, feel free to reach out to us and to write us on the email address I shared with you before. We will share all the links in the email you will receive, the thank you email you will receive after the webinar. And we will be back soon, and we will keep you updated about any future activities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.